Right now it's 6, severe weather and hail on their way. Our First Warn weather team breaks down what our area may see tonight.
And one person is dead and another injured after an Eau Claire house fire. What a neighbor saw at the scene.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski.
Well, it's an alert day today. We could see large hail and damaging winds going into tonight. Let's send it right over to Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart for the latest.
Yeah, we're still tracking that line that'll be approaching here. So far, nothing has developed ahead of it. That's the good news. But this line will have pretty much strong damaging winds. We could have some hail, even a brief spin up along this line too. But it's still far to the west. We just got Dodge County, Minnesota is the closest one that now has a warning too with this line. A few spin ups along it. That's what the reds are there for tornadoes. Really nothing confirmed on the ground, but occasionally you get these that'll spin up along the line as it progresses east. The other news would be the damaging wind. So that activity, the watch box behind there, that yellow, that's out till 11 p.m. We might see more watches east of that area, but it's kind of up in the air what the storms will look like by that point. But look at the temperatures. We actually had some get up into the 80s. Even dew points to the further south are in the mid upper 60s. So it is juicy kind of air going on right now. But so far, nothing has occurred south of the line. I was a little bit of concern with southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa. That has not developed yet. Tracking that line out, eventually by 8, it should be near Eau Claire. It may be about 9-ish that we're going to see that line kind of start slowing down a little bit and then basically approaching La Crosse between 9 and 10. The thing to keep an eye on is northeast Iowa is where you might see some cells ahead of that line. Those would have the more tornadic threat than the main line itself too, but that will continue to progress east across the area to about 11 p.m. or midnight. We'll track that out a little better. The better news is once we get past midnight, the rest of the night is fairly quiet. Unfortunately, we do have a drop in temps, another rain chance Thursday, and you'll like it. We might have another great weekend coming up too.
All right, well, something to look forward to then.
It is, definitely.
Thanks, Greg.
And the city is preparing for the possible bad weather. MTU service will stop all routes at 7:40 tonight. Parking ramps will be available, and Copeland, Luth, Wittenberg, and Haas Park shelters will be available.
And a reminder, you can always track weather 24/7 by downloading our First Warn weather app, available on the App Store or on Google Play.
A house fire in Eau Claire turns deadly and leaves another victim hospitalized. The fire started around 6 a.m. this morning. Fire crews arrived to find the structure engulfed in flames. 2 individuals were inside the house. One died on the scene and the other was taken to the hospital with injuries. One neighbor says he witnessed the fire.
It was going up pretty fast, and I was surprised how quick the fire department got here. And if they didn't, I don't know, if they didn't get here that fast, it would have gone up pretty quickly.
The neighbor also says that the resident with injuries was released from the hospital earlier today. Still no word on what may have caused the fire.
A Toma man is in custody after a weekend stabbing. Police have arrested 51-year-old Edwin Ross in Black River Falls after he allegedly stabbed a victim during a domestic dispute Saturday night. The victim was treated at the hospital and released. Ross, who has prior domestic abuse convictions, remains in Monroe County Jail awaiting formal charges.
A food service driver is accused of delivering drugs to an inmate at Monroe County Jail. Aramark driver Zechariah Borden allegedly delivered a package containing meth to an inmate Thursday. Security footage shows him delivering the package to Nicholas Hage. Borden faces delivering an article to an inmate and possession charges. He is held on a $1,200 cash bond.
Happening around the state, the charge against former Wisconsin warden in the death of 2 inmates has been reduced to a misdemeanor. Randall Hepp was charged with felony misconduct in June after Cameron Williams and Donald Mayer were found dead at the Waupun Correctional Institution. A plea deal reduced the charge to violating state county institution laws with a maximum sentence of 30 days in jail. 6 Waupun staffers are still facing abuse or misconduct charges in the deaths. 2
more Milwaukee schools will close to address a lead crisis. In total, Milwaukee School District has announced the closure of 9 schools so far this year to address lead hazards. The crisis was discovered after a child tested positive for a high level of lead in their blood late last year. Over 100 buildings will be inspected for potential lead exposure.
Early bird registration for La Crosse's 20th annual Steppin' Out in Pink is now open. The annual Gunderson Medical Foundation sponsored event supports breast cancer research. Registration is just $20 through June 27th, and then after that it'll jump to $25. Even though the event isn't until September 13th, you can sign up now at steppinoutinpink.org.
A rule change is allowing high school athletes to make money off their name, image, and and likeness.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit joins us in the newsroom tonight for the details. Allison.
On Friday, the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association voted to allow NIL deals. Although those deals have made a splash in college athletics, it could be a different case at the high school level.
We're like the 40th state now that has accepted this, and so it's one of those things that it's a matter of time before it was going to happen.
High school athletes in Wisconsin will soon be able to profit off their name, image, and likeness. WIAA membership schools approved the change after rejecting a similar proposal just last year.
And I think all of us kind of felt that we wanted to have some say in what the law looked like rather than waiting for it maybe potentially get passed through the legislature.
Under the rule change, students can sign endorsement deals, promote products, and make money from working athletic clinics that use their name as a selling point. At the college level, athletes can average between $1,000 and $10,000 a year from NIL deals. Influential Athlete CEO Stephanie Grady says the WIAA change will allow students to take advantage of the same opportunities their peers have.
It was really a handcuffing of these student athletes where it wasn't a level playing field for them. And these rules stood in their way from being able to make money off of themselves.
While NIL deals have caused controversy at the college level, Wisconsin's high school policy has strict rules around it.
They can't take part of any NIL during the school day or miss any practices or activities because of that. Also, the people that can donate or can sponsor an athlete can't be a booster or associated with the school.
Students are also not allowed to wear their uniforms or make any mention of their school, conference, or the WIAA in their deals. And the WIAA's eligibility rules make it so students can't transfer for better NIL opportunities. While Service believes only a few students will be impacted, he says it's important for schools to inform families of the change.
It's going to be all about educating people. And I think that's the next step for us as activities directors, get the word out to our families so that everybody's aware of what they can do and what they can't do.
The new rule goes into effect at the end of May. Reporting in the newsroom, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
All right, Allison, thank you.
Coming up, it is something state law governs, but some say the state doesn't go far enough. What some local towns are now turning to address what they see as a major community concern.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, we believe in working together to address real-world challenges. That's why we're proud to help farmers cultivate healthy food and landowners preserve and maintain forest land. We're proud to educate the next generation of teachers and drive groundbreaking medical research. Together, we make an impact that rings loud and clear. One Wisconsin, on Wisconsin.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Hey! This $5 Mega Millions game is super exciting!
There are prize multipliers built into every play. So the lowest price you can win is $10. Plus, it has bigger jackpots more often with better chances to win it!
$5 Mega Millions really is something to shout about.
It's available at Wisconsin lottery retailers near you, like this one.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Do you know who's living next door? In many Wisconsin communities, a convicted sex offender may be closer than you realize, and state laws designed to protect you aren't as thorough as you might think.
Welcome to Main Street, Black River Falls, a picture-perfect glimpse of Americana.
But like a number of small towns in Wisconsin, it has a secret just under the surface. Sex offenders are just around the corner. 48 of them in Black River Falls, according to the state registry, 1% of the total population.
In Black River Falls, Jackson, we're not broken, but it's not something we're proud of.
Black River Falls isn't alone. For years, Sparta saw the Department of Corrections place offenders in their backyard. It's a reality for many communities statewide.
We were having issues with some of these residences just based on where they were placed. Like common sense told you that it was a bad place for these residences. Next to bus stops, next to our schools.
And there was another issue.
Offenders from other areas of the state were then being placed in these residences within our city.
The state has tried to fix that.
State law is very specific that you return to the county you offended in for your first placement when you're under supervision.
And in 2016, Scott Walker signed a bill saying sexually violent persons cannot live within 1,500 feet of any school, child care facility, public park, place of worship, or youth center. But that's it. The only other line of defense is a local ordinance with more restrictions. But only 150 municipalities in Wisconsin have one. Sparta got one 4 years ago. It reaffirms the state's restriction zones, and it blocks offenders from living within 500 feet of any facility for children: daycares, parks, the football field, the swimming pool. But why not just ban every sex offender from living in your town? Federal courts say you can't.
We can essentially block out up to, I think it's 40% or something like that, of the city based on those zones.
If you're truly trying to eliminate sex offenders from your community, the restriction zones work. The other thing is that where do they go if they don't have housing because they're required to be here?
Republicans say Dane and Milwaukee County often have to place offenders in other counties because these zones make finding housing impossible. Black River Falls may not have an ordinance, but this is what their restriction zones look like using state law. They cover a lot of ground.
I think there's positive and negatives of restriction zones. Of course, it's intended to make people feel safe or secure.
Black River Falls officials didn't respond to our interview requests on whether they would consider an ordinance. For Sheriff Waldera, changing a culture of offense goes deeper than an ordinance.
I think it comes down to education. It's usually it's a crime of opportunity where you have either a family member, unfortunately, that's assaulting their family as well as a close neighbor.
Education early to try and fix what's broken. Smaller communities in our area like Blair, Alma Center, and Maryland all have recently created their own local ordinances. La Crosse does not have one. We will have more news ahead, but first.
Yeah, we definitely have storms going on this evening. Could be severe all the way to about 11 or midnight, but then going forward to Tuesday, definitely going to be colder and breezier. The better news is we have some better temperatures ahead, including maybe another great weekend. We'll plan all that out coming out on your first warm weather update after the break.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment. Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot! Shut up!
Called GNT. For the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
We see you out there building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Blaine's brand lawn and garden batteries, $3 off for rewards members. Plus, we've lowered prices store-wide so you can find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
A home you love. A business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We built it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
If nagging, persistent joint pain has upended your life, listen, there's a solution for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics uses a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, hips, and more. QC Kinetics targets the source of your pain, not just the symptoms. Thousands of patients have experienced life-changing results, and they're right here. Find out if you're a candidate for this game-changing therapy. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation.
Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to buy Goff and Rohde. BGR, object to anything less than the best.
Yeah, we still have the severe weather going on to about 7 p.m. to about 11. Could extend to midnight, too. Now, all the threats are available, but right now I would say more of the threat is becoming probably damaging winds, given this linear line that's going to come through. We still got that tornado threat, but that's really, I think, what we're looking for. The hail threat, pretty minimal, but still, we'll keep an eye on that. Otherwise, that conditions will continue here as we go throughout. The line right now still is forming. We do have a little bit of tornado warning along that line, just northwest of Rochester there. Dodge County has a severe thunderstorm warning. That's furthest east it's gone. And then take it well all the way further down to the southwest to Iowa. Northern Iowa is kind of the place to keep an eye on because some of these storms are not tied to that line, so they have a better chance of being a tornado threat there too, including the one right there that's indicated with the red. Otherwise, this is watch box is out till 11 p.m. We'll probably see an extension of this or a severe thunderstorm watch box given, and we'll see how that plays out. For right now, confidence is kind of lower in what's going to go on. Ahead of this line, a few showers here and there, but overall it's pretty quiet. We're just going to keep an eye on that line as it slowly marches eastward, and really that's what's going to happen going on. It's probably not going to be hitting Eau Claire maybe between 7 and 8. Once again, you got to keep an eye on any of these little turns or notches, as we call them, that could spin up a brief tornado along them. But the one point I'm going to keep an eye on is northeast Iowa, where we have some cells that are apart from this main line. One including that's going to lift northeast towards the area as we get closer to about 8:45. You can see this line now is pretty much indicating of a gusty type winds, damaging wind threat as it pushes east. So Black River Falls, Winona down to Rochester, 8:30-ish to 8:45. By the time it gets to La Crosse, it's going to start slowing down a little bit, but it'll be around probably 10 as you see it lines all the way up to Mason City. But there's this individual cells ahead of the line that we're going to definitely keep an eye on as they lift kind of north, maybe into Vernon County, just southwest of La Crosse. They'll probably merge with that line. By the time we get to 10:30, 11, it's kind of sitting across the area, but the severe threat really diminishes this time as everything begins a weekend. But we'll still see showers and thunderstorms regardless continue to about midnight for many of the areas south of La Crosse. Meanwhile, everyone up to the north will basically be done with all the activity, at least the severe threat, by about 10 p.m. Then overnight, we'll see a brief possibility of clearing before the cold front comes through, and that means as you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to feel that brisk northwest wind, cloudy conditions. It's going to feel kind of cool compared to what we had today with those 70s near 80, and that wind will also be kind of breezy, even windy at times in the morning hours. So the good news is we go through Tuesday afternoon, we will slowly see sunshine come out. Unfortunately, the temperatures won't really go too much, but eventually by 1 to 2, we'll start seeing clearing skies. That northwest wind will continue, but we should see plenty of sunshine and clearing skies going into Tuesday evening. Now, as temperatures, as I mentioned, we'll get to that in a moment. So we're looking at 7 to 10 p.m., a line of severe storms. It will slow down as it pushes east. Highest tornado threat, really, I think it's southwest of La Crosse. We'll keep an eye if that actually pushes northeast of the area. Winded, I think, is going to become the primary threat, and that's damaging winds greater than 55 miles per hour as that line comes through. That seems to be the threat that we'll keep closer eye on, but we can't rule out that tornado as we go through. Here's your temperatures tomorrow. Definitely going to be about a 20-degree drop for some areas. So with that northwest wind, it will not feel that nice outside. We will have more sun in the afternoon. Shower chance for Wednesday. We'll get back to seasonal. We do have some rain coming back in Wednesday night and Thursday. That's light rain, not expecting to be any severe weather with that. Once we get past Thursday, look at Friday and another good weekend in store with potentially 80-degree weather coming next weekend with the next chance of rain coming there around Tuesday. So overall, just pay attention to the radar later tonight, Have the app handy, just prepare to take action, and we'll be here to keep you informed all night long.
All right. Thanks very much, Greg. Coming up next in sports, time for concern. The Bucks down 3-1 in their series with the Pacers, and the injury news regarding their star guard is not good. Reaction from Doc and Giannis with Jacob next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
This is the story about a little empathy. No matter where little empathy looked, it just couldn't find its place in the world. Which was sad, because it had so much to give. Then one day, little empathy made a friend. And the friend took it somewhere it would always be useful and appreciated. Welcome to a place where healthcare is all about caring. Amplify Health. A little empathy changes everything.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together. Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes today
a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers?
Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Last night, the Bucks fell behind 3-1 in their first-round series with the Pacers, dropping Game 4 by 26 points on their home court. But the air was sucked out of the building about halfway through the first quarter when a loose ball was bouncing towards Damian Lillard, who lost his footing and went down with a non-contact injury. A few hours ago, it was confirmed that the injury that was what many thought it was at first glance was a torn left Achilles. So after rehabbing from a blood clot in his right calf, he now suffers this, which has him out for the rest of the playoffs and more than likely a big chunk of next year. Just a horrible break for one of the most exciting and well-respected players in the league.
It's just such a great freaking dude, like on a basketball level, but more important, like as a teammate and a father and all that stuff. And you know, no one deserves it, but golly, you just look at him, and so that's why I feel bad.
I don't believe in bad luck, man. I'm too blessed to believe in bad luck. No, come on. I think everything happens for a reason, and you know, obviously I wish Dame the best. We love him. We're gonna support him. But yeah, we just gotta keep on moving forward, man.
The injury also puts Lillard's 2025-26 season in jeopardy because of that extended recovery timeline for a torn Achilles. Meanwhile, it's a much different feeling in Minnesota as the Timberwolves took a 3-1 lead in their series over the Lakers yesterday, outscoring LA by 13 points in the fourth quarter to go on to win by 3. Anthony Edwards had a big final frame, scoring 16 points and finishing with 43 total in the game. The challenge of going toe-to-toe with some of the game's best is something that he's embraced and has looked forward to for a long time.
I've been dreaming of this all my life, whether it was football or basketball. So just being in these situations, and now it's going against Bron and Luka. And Luka probably the best player in the game, young player in the game, and Bron is the best player leaving the game. So just trying to, you know, prove I belong, and to all my haters and people who criticize me that I'm better than they think.
And if the T-Wolves want to close it out in Game 5, they'll have to do it from Los Angeles, with that game scheduled to tip at 9 on Wednesday. But guys, back to the Bucks. Just feel terrible for Dame. I mean, he works so hard, It's such a positive attitude during the recovery from his last injury, and then that just to happen is
just tough break.
Very tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's really not much the Bucks can do. You lose a major piece like that, it's tough sledding. But meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, if there's any doubt anywhere that he doesn't belong, I mean, that should go away. He definitely looks like he belongs.
He has the utmost amount of confidence for sure. So he is a bright young star to watch. We'll see if he can get it done in Game 5 or not. Also, the Packers signing Isaiah Simmons. We'll have more on him later at 10. So it's maybe a nice little pickup for the defense.
Absolutely. Former first-round pick.
Correct.
All right. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks.
Okay, Greg has another look at your forecast right after this.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Did you know that a drug overdose can occur anywhere?
The signs of an overdose are cold and clammy skin,
Vomiting,
respiratory failure,
skin discoloration,
death if not treated. This is what one dose of Narcan looks like.
Using Narcan will not hurt anyone, even if they are not experiencing an overdose.
Place the nozzle all the way up one nostril and click the plunger.
Call 911.
Wait 2 minutes, administer another dose in the opposite nostril if they're not responding.
Save a life.
Save a life. Save a life.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help, with everything you need to make it happen, at a value that makes it possible. Best-in-class products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices, so you can get everything to do your thing. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
We would like to thank everyone who voted Dahl Automotive Best of La Crosse County. It means a lot to us to place first in auto service department, new car dealership, as well as voting Randy McDaniel for Best Auto Salesperson. Thank you.
It's time for spring cleaning, and Dahl Auto is here to help. Clean out that old car, and we'll give you an extra $1,000 over book value. Then choose from over 1,200 vehicles and lock in today's prices. Spring cleaning pays at Dahl Auto.
All right, there's that line that'll be pushing through. Right now, Wabasha will be the next county in line. Now, there will be mainly severe thunderstorm warnings along it. There could be actually tornado warnings along it, but regardless, you want to stay inside as it passes through with the wind damage potentially and hail, even though we might see it. It'll continue to push east. It will be another few hours for La Crosse or even Eau Claire and far western areas to see it, but it will come through tonight through about 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Once we get past that, the highest tornado threat seems to be southwest La Crosse, but as I've mentioned, wind may be the primary threat we see. Otherwise, it's good going through Wednesday, Thursday. We have showers for Thursday, but otherwise, another good weekend maybe coming up.
Yeah, looks good. All right, well, thank you for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you at 10.